Something massive is happening beneath the surface of global headlines, a seismic shift in how power, trade, and influence are distributed across the planet. And while much of the Western media is still fixated on old rivalries and outdated alliances, a new axis of power is quietly being built. At the center of it all, China. And it's not alone. China is now leading a historic coalition, utilizing Southeast Asia's ASEAN, the Gulf Cooperation Council, and itself into what could become one of the most formidable geopolitical and economic blocs the world has ever seen. If you are someone who watches trends and wonders where the world is headed next, you don't want to miss this. This is more than a trade story. It's the blueprint for a new global order. Quick reminder before we dive deeper. If you find this analysis valuable so far, give this video a like and share it with someone who's following these global changes. It really helps more people discover this conversation. For the past 2 decades, much of the talk about emerging powers revolved around BRICS. But while BRICS has been important, its coordination has often lacked teeth. What's happening now is different. This new China-led bloc is leaner, faster, and more aligned in its goals. Together, China, ASEAN, and the GCC now represent over $25 trillion in combined GDP and more than 2 billion people. That's not just a large group, that's a power center. And it's increasingly one that can set the terms of global trade, finance, and even technology standards. So how did we get here? In a largely underreported but critical development, over 20 nations met in Kuala Lumpur earlier this year to formalize economic and diplomatic cooperation. The countries represented spanned from Southeast Asia to the Persian Gulf and of course China. While this wasn't a flashy summit full of soundbites, it was historic in intent. Trade deals were discussed, infrastructure partnerships were signed, and most importantly, a shared vision was laid out, one of mutual growth, technological advancement, and independence from Western pressures. And that shared vision, it's already starting to take shape. Let's step back. Why is this happening now? The answer lies in a mix of timing, opportunity, and necessity. First, Western nations, especially the US, are consumed by internal divisions and geopolitical fatigue. From government shutdowns to endless political disputes, the West seems increasingly distracted. Second, protectionism is back. Tariffs, sanctions, and unpredictable trade rules have made many countries in Asia and the Gulf look elsewhere for dependable economic partnerships. And third, these countries aren't just reacting. They are acting with purpose. They want growth, they want access to new markets, and they want a say in the global conversation without relying on Washington or Brussels. Let's talk economics. This bloc is not a political formality. It's powered by real trade flows and hard investment. Take Southeast Asia. For decades, it was aligned with US and Western trade. But in the last 5 years, that relationship has been shaken. Tariffs, especially during the US-China trade war, disrupted supply chains across the region. Indonesia offers a clear example. After a recent 10% US tariff was imposed, its trade surplus collapsed to the lowest level in 5 years. The response? A pivot. Indonesia ramped up imports from China and Singapore. Capital goods imports jumped over 21% year on year. And that's not just a fluke, it's the start of a trend. Vietnam, long seen as an alternative to China in manufacturing, has also deepened ties with Beijing. When US tariffs cut into Vietnamese steel and aluminum exports, the country signed new deals with China, opening pathways for tech investment and industrial growth. Here is where it gets even more interesting. China has now become ASEAN's single largest trading partner. By 2024, total trade between them hit $982 billion, nearly one-fifth of all of ASEAN's trade volume. This isn't just about goods, it's about digital infrastructure, high-tech cooperation, and green energy. Agreements like the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area and the broader regional comprehensive economic partnership are paving the way for a seamless trade zone without Western influence. The newest phase, ACFTA 3, is perhaps the boldest yet. It focuses on future-facing industries, AI, robotics, biotech, and green energy. One of the key components, encouraging Chinese firms to move production to ASEAN nations. This isn't outsourcing in traditional sense. It's an integration strategy. ASEAN countries get investment and tech transfer. China gets strategic access and logistical advantage. It's a win-win, and one that Western companies are struggling to match. Let me know in the comments, do you think the West is underestimating this new bloc? Your thoughts help build this conversation, and I read every comment. Let's not forget physical infrastructure. China's Belt and Road Initiative has already transformed Southeast Asia's logistics landscape. Look at the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed rail project, $7 billion invested, dramatically reducing travel time and opening up economic corridors across Indonesia. Projects like this aren't just about transportation, they are strategic bets on influence. Ports, highways, energy grids, all of these are quietly connecting this new bloc in ways the West hasn't even begun to replicate. While ASEAN brings population and growth, the Gulf Cooperation Council brings energy and money. Nations like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates and Qatar are rapidly diversifying, and China is helping them do it. Through deals on green hydrogen, AI, and even satellite technology, Gulf nations are becoming more than just energy exporters. They are tech and finance players, and their sovereign wealth funds are pouring billions into projects that support this new Asia-Middle East alignment. So what does all this add up to? This isn't just about China flexing muscles or countries reacting to tariffs. This is a slow, deliberate pivot away from the Western-led order. We are watching the formation of a new global center of gravity, one that doesn't rely on Washington, London, or Brussels. One where rules are rewritten, currencies are diversified, and influence flows in new directions. And while the West debates, this new bloc is building. If this gave you a clearer picture of where the world might be headed, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives like this, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss future videos on global power shifts, economic trends, and the geopolitics reshaping our world. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.